is DarthZadyBun over here, and I'm on site at Project Mayhem showroom with my good friend Riza. So tell us, Riza, what are we doing today?
Unboxing the Wonder Woman movie promo statue from Kotobukiya.
Awesome. So I gotta tell you, right? So as you know, like we do a lot of Kotobukiya stuff, and this statue is a brilliant example of why, as you're gonna see in a few moments, right? So this is the first one we're opening. It's a new case from Project Mayhem. Riza has given me the go-ahead to open it, but I'm scared I'm gonna break something, so I'm gonna leave it to him. As you can see, just straight out the box, I can tell you this is already one of my favorite statues this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut away for a second, move to our display station, and we're going to do an in-depth review starting just about now. Okay, so just another look now at the accessories that come with it. So we have this sword and shield set, and we have this sword and shield set. Now, if memory serves, I think this was the actual God Slayer sword. The God Killer sword, and that's the shield that she used in BVS, I think it might be. And this one over here is the one from the movie with the sword that she puts down her dress. But sound off in the comments below if I got that wrong. But to be very, very candid, I think you'd appreciate the reason why when I was watching the movie I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the swords and the shield, because hello nurse. So here we have, right, this statue over here, it's unmistakably Gal Gadot. Unmistakably. If this was Ramadan, I wouldn't be able to make this video because this is definitely not halal. So let's see. Right, so just going around, we'll do a quick 360 of her torso. Right, now I'm going to come talk a bit more about this just now. Look over here and you see immaculate sculpting detail all throughout the figure. So if you look over here on her armor itself, brilliant work, brilliant work. Kotobukiya does it once again. It becomes slightly closer to her face sculpt. Like I said, unmistakably Gal Gadot. But what's really interesting is the fact that we're used to seeing a sort of Japanese infliction on the actual face sculpts over here. But this one over here, it doesn't have any of that. So it's almost photorealistic. You can tell that this is a high-end quality statue because if you look at the subtle shading, and we have some photos down below as well, so you can look at that as well. But if you really look at it, it is amazing, truly amazing detail. So let's come out for a second over here and let's talk about the actual suit. Now I'm going to use the sword, one of the swords of you, just to point out, right? So if you look at the leather strap over here, right, I don't know if it picks it up on camera, but it has some faint dry brushing throughout it as well, so that simulates leather, right? If you come over here, you look at the actual armor itself. So what you can see is that it has almost suggested texturing and suggested wear, you know, battle damage and whatnot as well, which is interesting. Considering, I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted there, sorry, family show. So yeah, coming down over here, you can see the base itself. So I would think that that scene in the movie, and Riza and Nash, you want to close your ears because spoilers coming up. So I would think that scene in the movie where she actually debuts as Wonder Woman herself, this looks like the cobblestones that we saw over there in that little village. So if you haven't already watched the movie, you need to do that, right? Let's talk about the lasso of truth over here. You see it has, well, yo, look at the detailing over there. I really hope the camera can pick up. Let's focus that a bit. Yes, okay, so as you can see, this, remember now, basically, it's sort of like a softer plastic, but the way they've sculpted it, it actually looks a lot like rope. Brilliant stuff. Let's come over here to the family show. Right, so turning around over here and let's come back over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to assemble the rest of the statue and talk a little bit more about the statue as a whole. So be back in a second. Okay, there she is, right, fully assembled, and I'll just bear in mind that there's still another set of accessories over there. All right, now I chose this particular sword over here to use in this particular review simply because of the amount of detail. I really hope that this camera picks it up. Let's try and zoom in over there. Yeah, so if you remember correctly, like I said, I do believe that this is the version in the movie that's the God Slayer sword. And these guys, I mean, Riza was just saying to me just now, these guys did not feel shy with the detail at all. I mean, just look at that. Look at the fine detail that's on this over here. I didn't realize this, but there's basically two dragons two dragons there chowing the sword, because that's how she chows those in the movie, right? So as far as assembly is concerned, it's fairly easy to assemble. Now there's a couple points over here. Okay, so number one, you saw we had to plug in the hand there, and we had to plug in the other hand where that holds the shield. And just remember, the other shield also has another hand piece over there, so that's pretty awesome. Just to talk about this as well, all the fingernails, I really hope the camera can pick it up, sort of have a little bit of nail polish over there. So yeah, she's ready to fight battle on all fronts. And the NAS, right, the legendary NAS pointed out something pretty legendary as well. If you look at her eyes, and again, I really hope this camera is doing this justice. Let's try and edge her towards the light. There we go. I don't know if you can see, but she's got a lip gloss going on over there, and those crystal clear eyes, a bit of a shimmer going on over there. I'm not sure how these guys do their paintwork, but you're something to aspire towards. This is just brilliant work. Simply brilliant work. Okay, now I just want to talk about something, right? Fair warning. You see, when you're plugging in this hand now, the shield hand, right? What you ought to watch out for is that the way the hand is, you see over here, it's got these little pegs, right? Little peg holes rather. So it slips in. We had a little bit of difficulty getting in simply because we didn't apply our minds because we were too busy looking at other things. So what you want to do is you turn the statue this way, and so you're going to hold this, so whichever shield you're using, you can hold it at this hand, you're going to sort of plug it, so you're going to go in from the back like this, you pop it in like up over there, and you shouldn't have a problem, right? Then as far as the hands go, right, as you can see, she has, whoops, okay, I pulled it a little too hard there. If you tug too hard, it's going to fall off, right? Famous words to live by. Now, here we go, right? So this hand over here, it's actually, this is pretty good because I can show you how to do it, right? So all you got to do is you just basically got to line the hole up to the actual peg, pop it in, voila. What's really nice is that the articulated points are seamlessly integrated, so you can't really see where the join is, which just goes to show that Kotobukiya pays a phenomenal amount of attention to their detail. Now, the last thing I want to talk about as far as accessories and whatnot are concerned, if you look at it, to insert the sword. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is the sword and how that goes in. So basically all you're going to do is you sort of have to edge the sword in. The fingers over here are fairly pliable. It's made out of a soft plastic, so it's fairly pliable, so you can move them over there. What's really nice though is that once it holds, it has kind of very, very firm grip on it. So no matter how much you shake that around, it's probably not going to fall off. So that's pretty cool as well, right? Okay, so overall impressions. Now, as you know with statues, oh yes, okay. Once again, with these other accessories, it's pretty much the same thing over here. So what's really nice is that you have basically two distinctive looks for Wonder Woman. So the way we see her in the movie and the way we see her in BVS, Batman vs. Superman. Once again, the detailing. So I'm just going to talk about the shields quickly. As you can see over here, phenomenal articulated detail. Phenomenal work, really. You know, highly detailed, very, very intricate patterns. Very, very intricate patterns. There you go. And you see the same thing over here on this shield, which has sort of that crest, sort of like an eagle. I really do need to brush up on my Wonder Woman lore. But yeah, I think this is Greek text. Well, whatever it is, it's all Greek to me. But anyway, yeah. So let's talk about the statue as a whole. Now, as you know, when it comes to statues, we focus on two things. We focus on the aesthetics and we focus on the age factor, right? So aesthetics, very simply, as we always saying, is the overall look and the overall feel of the statue. Now, I got to tell you, from the moment I saw this in the box up to the point that I had this thing fully assembled, this thing screamed Gal Gadot to me. You know, this is, you know, I mean, there's so many versions of this particular character out right now, or this particular version of the character out right now, and to see something like this, you know, at this price point, it's truly phenomenal. You know, it's, to quote the movie, Kotobukiya should be really, really proud. So, coming closer, like I said, aesthetically, it's brilliant. This thing is Gal Gadot in the, well, I was going to say in the flesh, but in the mold, as it were. Just looking at all the fine sculpted details, just trying to focus over there. There we go. All the way through the face sculpt, the body. I mean, she exudes poise and elegance. It's simply brilliant. It's such an amazing statue. I'm so incredibly impressed by the statue. I just want to take a second now to talk about the hair over here. I mean, with a character like this, whose hair is such a major part of her overall design. You know, it's this is truly something that can be hit and miss, you know. But what they've managed to do over here is actually bring this to life, you know, bring this to life. And the sculpt work, you know, because they're relying purely on the sculpt work over here. And the way it's done, you sort of see the light sort of bounces off it as well. So it gives it that element of realism as well. Across the statue, you can't really see it because of the lighting and because of the camera, but there's some faint shading throughout. So that sort of suggests musculature and shadowing as well. So that's also brilliant. This camera just needs to focus again. There we go. Yeah, so that's brilliant. Overall, I gotta tell you, aesthetically, this thing scores full points. You know, aesthetically, this is the quintessential Wonder Woman. If you don't have this on pre-order, if you haven't pre-ordered this, if you need to get this, seriously, the looks alone, you know, make this worthwhile getting. As far as age factor is concerned, let's look at the package as a whole. What you have over here is a brilliantly packaged figure, and packaged in the sense that it is the whole tutti. Really, it is. It comes with an excellent rendition of the character itself. It comes with accessories that are on point. You know, I often complain that Kotobukiya screws us over a little bit when it comes to accessories, and it's almost as though they've been hearing my pleas and my complaints. I wish they knew I existed. Hashtag putting out there, hi Koto, I exist. Anyway, yeah, shameless self-plug aside, what's really amazing is that we have some accessories here, and these accessories do justice to the character. Essentially, we have two versions of this character in one. Like I said, between the accessories you get over here, this set and this set over here, with that shield, one suggests the Wonder Woman movie, the other one suggests the BVS. What would I have liked to have seen? I don't know. This might be me nitpicking a little bit, but I'm an Indian, so, you know, we like things for free. What I would have liked to have seen was for this particular, you know, the lasso of truth to be removable. And I know this is asking for a bit much given that it's a statue, right? For this to be removable and perhaps now to have another sculpted one that's sort of like, you know, like being thrown around or something like that. But given the fact that it's a statue and not an action figure, you know, I gotta say it's truly phenomenal what they've done over here, and it works nicely. Because here's the thing, if you have removable parts of this for something so small, you know, odds are it's going to get lost, and then that's just a waste anyway. So, yeah. As far as age factor is concerned, all I can say is, ish, bruh, this is Gal Gadot. You know, this one here I need to get. I seriously need to look at getting this one over here. So, yeah. That's basically it for this figure. If you haven't already got it, you can chat to our friends Riza and Nas over here at Project Mayhem. They can get you hooked up. Stocks are limited. You saw the box. Stocks are very, very limited with this. So before the scalpers go buy all of them and start selling them on the second-hand market, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. And yeah, so make sure you get one of this over here. So yeah, I will chat to you guys on the flip side.